Well, I don't have to say it. They said it's good to have you here.
Yes, it's good to be alive.
What about Evening Shade? I mean, in England, are you getting good vibes, good things coming back?
No, I was doing... I was just there recently.
You were there?
Yes.
How did the press not know about this?
Well, your press they were busy with Princess Di.
They're always busy with
Yeah, thank God. I wish we had a princess here who was getting a divorce.
I thought you didn't want to talk about that subject.
No, I just was mentioning that. Nice to have somebody else taking the heat for a second. You know?
You go in and out of England a lot, though, don't you?
I love England, and especially the people when you get outside of London, you know, and past those shiny sheets you have. Mm. You invented that, you know.
Shiny sheets?
Yes, shiny sheets.
You slide out a lot, though. But
yes, you have bare-breasted women, which I think is good for everybody.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. What do you mean?
Well, they're in the papers there. And
oh, you mean on page 3? We have a page 3.
Page 3. You
Some
knew,
of the big
it was
ones.
3.
Well,
funny how you said 3 right away.
But sometimes if they're big, it's on 4 and 5 as well. But
yes.
page 3.
I never saw a 4 and a 5.
Which of the 50 moves that you've done are you proud of? You say, yeah, that's
3.
3 out of 50.
Mm.
One would be Deliverance, probably.
Yes. Yeah.
What
Very
else?
proud of that. This Starting Over, I thought was an awfully good movie, and the most fun I had. Actually, I had a great time on 2 pictures. One because Jackie Gleason was like a surrogate father to me. That was Smokey and the Bandit, and it made about $200 million, so that was swell.
And you like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
A little share of that. Little tickle.
Also, I remember the Pontiac. It was I drove a black Trans Am. It was the first time anybody had ever seen that car. And Pontiac's sales went up 600%. So the president of Pontiac said, "Mr. Reynolds, I'm going to give you a brand new Pontiac every year for the rest of your life." I went, "Wow, it's fabulous." But I didn't know it meant the rest of his life. He died 2 years later. The new president came in and said, "I never made that promise." So I only got it 2 years. But they went up 600%.
Shows you the power of the movie.
Yes, still today, I have some guy drive up next to me in some beat-up old Trans Am and say, "You son of a bitch, you made me buy this car." They cuss like that in the street. You know?
Deliverance was a good movie. You're proud of that?
I'm very proud of Deliverance.
They play it a lot on British television.
Well, over here when it plays, it's been so edited. It's 4 guys going camping.
But that was all action. And that's the movie.
It was crazy because we all 4 of us, you couldn't get 4 actors to do that today. First of all, I don't think you'd find 4 that nuts to do it. And that
you're always in danger. You were in danger.
Each one of us almost drowned every single day.
All your life you've been involved in all these wild physical things. Do you see a time ever coming when you go, "I can't cut that, I can't do that"?
Now. Yes, I can still fall down the stairs. I can't get up. I can still, I can ride a horse very well. I just have to have a crane get me on it. Or an apple box or something. I mean, it's, the legs, go, and I've had so many operations on things.
The knees?
Yeah, I've had 5 operations on this leg and on this one. So
What
they
about
don't...
Clint Eastwood, he's still in there punching?
Of course. But, he's a icon. Icons, he won't die. They'll just plaster of Paris over him one day and stick him in the park.
You know him well?
I've known him for 32 years, and I love him like a brother. I think he's... Finally, the industry decided that it was time. I knew it was his time, but... They got tired of beating him up and giving him terrible reviews because he's a dinosaur, still around, and so they actually gave him what he's deserved for a long, long time. He's a wonderful, wonderful director.
Got any little stories about him you could tell me?
Well, he's very hard to get to know. He has a little wall around him, and I remember the first time I was asked to his house for Thanksgiving dinner. And I came to the house, and he's very private. And there was a guy there at the table, and he said, Clint went out of the room, and he said, how long have you known Clint? And I said, 15 years. And he said, I said, how long have you known him? He said, oh, I went to junior high school with him. He said, this is the first time anybody ever got here this soon, 15 years. Usually you have to know him for 20 or 30 years before you get invited to the house. I was so excited. I mean, he's a private, very private.
Very private.
But he got fired from Universal too, because they said that he talked too slow, and his Adam's apple stuck out too far. And I said, why am I fired? And they said, you can't act. So I told him, I said, you know, you're in a hell of a lot of trouble. He said, why? I said, because I can learn to act. You'll never get rid of that damn Adam's apple. And as you can see, it held him back considerably.
Are you a shy man? Are you a shy person?
Yes.
That's what I'm told. I'm told you're shy. So how do you equate that with when you got to do love scenes and
well, I mean, love
taking
scenes
all your clothes off?
I beg your pardon.
Well,
I usually do the love scenes with my clothes on.
Really?
Yes. No.
What about the ones with, you know, they've been...
A little gas there. I remember the first love scene that I had to do. It was a nude scene with Angie Dickinson. And I was scared to death. And I thought, Angie is a great dame. And I don't mean that in a sexist way. I mean it in the best way. I mean, you can take Angie to boxing, and then you can take her to see the Queen, you know? Or watch the Queen box, whatever you want. And anyway, and I went to Angie, and I said, how are you going to do this love scene? And she said, it's very easy. She said, just take off all your clothes and walk in and walk around among the crew, and they get used to you. I said, are you sure? And she said, yes. You know, just get over it. So I went to my little trailer, and I couldn't do it, you know, and I had this little Japanese slingshot I put on, and I had this old ratty robe. I tied it up, and I looked out the door, and just like she said, she came out of the trailer without a stitch on. Walked in, went, hi, Bob, hi, Bill, how you doing, hi, Des. And I went in, and I got under the covers and threw off everything and, you know, dropped it out. And I looked up in the rafters up there. You know, there's usually about 3 guys up there. There were 250 people. There were people from Wagon Train that were up there. Cowboys and stuntmen. Nobody got used to it. Is she out of her mind? Of course you can't get back. She's the most gorgeous. She still is frightening, you know.
You must have got reasonably used to it, because I think it was after that you did the Cosmopolitan Center spread.
Yes, but that was very tame. I mean, there wasn't anything to see. It was all covered by my arm. You started to stay handed.
I was going to say, did you cover your modesty with your hand?
Arm.
I understand, arm.
Correct people on that all the time.
Did they ever surface it? I tried to get... I couldn't find a copy. Do you ever see a copy of that?
Do you want one?
Well... No, some of the more mature ladies have still got them tucked away, you know, in private little places.
Yes, the blue-haired ladies. Is that what you mean?
And you got it.
I got it.
You got it.
I still have quick hands.
Do you sign them for the dear old dears when they...
I sign right across my arm.
Yes. What do you sign? Here's looking at you.
Yes, that's right. Come up and see me sometime.
Your best role, if I said, what's your favorite role right now? I can almost guess you'd say Dad. So it's a newish thing in your life, isn't it?
Well, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life, because I don't...
How old's the boy Quentin now?
He's 5. I just left him a minute ago, and I have him on the weekends, and he sleeps with me in this bed, and he crawls all over. And I don't sleep a wink, but I don't care. You know, it's wonderful to have somebody who actually loves you and doesn't know what you do for a living. You know, it's a wonderful feeling. I mean, he passes the room sometimes, and I'll be on television. I'll say, "That's Daddy," and he'll go, "Yeah." He thinks everybody's daddy's on television.
No, I like looking in eyes, and you're very relaxed. Because it might suddenly dawn on me, you've done this before, this talk show. I mean, you hosted a lot of Carson, didn't you?
I hosted, yeah, probably 50 or more Carson shows. He was, I miss him a great deal, because he was the best.
Yeah, we said it together. He was the best.
He was the best. There's a lot of young guys doing it now, and, well, actually less every minute. But there really is no, unfortunately, for what you do, and you do it wonderfully, there's no category for it. I mean, one doesn't get an award usually for being the best host, but it is a talent, and it requires you to be able to listen, which you do wonderfully, and also to make the other person look, hopefully, mildly amusing, you know. It's very difficult when you're sitting at that table and you look down and you see certain people who shall go nameless, and you know that they're just going to go. You say, how was Mexico? And they go, hot. Good. And then they say, I love Mexico. I love the people. I love the food. I love the runs. I love... They don't, there's nothing controversial about any of them. They just sort of sit there and try to look good.
And promote whatever they're going to promote.
They promote their book or their movie or their whatever. They got Miss California or something.
Well, you don't have to promote anything, Burt. I mean...
I have nothing to promote because I haven't done anything.
But I'm sure you've got movies. You've got movies in the pipeline, and whether it's movies, television, it'll always be a pleasure having on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, Burt Reynolds.